guys.
Coach, Greg Popovich just said a second ago that the Mavs organization should be very proud of this group and how they were able to come together at the end of the season and really push the Spurs. Just talk about how this team competed in this series to really push the top seed.
Yeah, we came together at the beginning of the year, 9 new guys. There were a lot of questions about a lot of things, and the guys just worked to stay together and become a more together group. And as the season went on, there was growth, and there were a lot of hard games. And there were a lot of hard games to just get to the playoffs. And for most groups, it would have been okay just to get here, with what we had been through. But our guys really pointed toward, how can we win the series? What can we do? And they knew they were going to have to dig deep and do a lot of things that were unconventional. And, we gave ourselves a chance. And, today we got hit by a tidal wave early. They had their best game today, and we just weren't able to do quite enough to stay in it early. Although, I like the way we ended the half, and I like the way we started the third quarter. But look, they're the best of the best, and they've been great for a long time, and we respect the heck out of San Antonio. And they've got a great chance moving forward, obviously.
Rick.
But I'm real proud. I'm real proud of our guys and what we were able to do, even though we didn't get to the next step. And if I could, I'd like to wish Abby Carlisle a happy 10th birthday. Love you.
Rick, could you talk about how you guys were affected by the early foul troubles by Monte?
Well, the early stuff was tough. There were a few fouls that we had disagreements on. Monte got a couple quick ones. They got to the bonus pretty early. But look, that on the road, particularly in the playoffs, and particularly in Game 7, you may have to weather a storm. We were trying like heck to weather it, and it was tough. It was just tough. We do 3 good things, and then they do 2 better things, And so it was kind of an uphill climb the whole way, but there was not one point in that game where anybody on our team stopped battling, stopped fighting, stopped trying to win, and that's what you got to do. And it's hard. It's hard when you get hit with an onslaught early the way the guys did, but they kept competing, and I was proud of the way they competed, even though we didn't play a very good game.
Rick, you often say that the Mavs are a championship franchise and have those standards. What has to happen for your franchise this summer to take the strides necessary to get back to that level?
Well, Mark said a few words to the team afterwards, and I think one of the things that we would like to do is get some more continuity. It's 2 years in a row. We added 8 new guys last year and then 9 this year, and Mark and I both and Donnie all agree that the more continuity that we can have going forward, the better. It's one thing that they've done so well here for so many years. And so we'll work to get back as many of these guys as we can. We got a lot of free agents. I'd love to have them all back. Marion's had 5 great years here. Carter's had 3 great years here. Harris came in this year with a lot of questions about his health. Had a very very unconventional, unpredictable surgery on his foot. He fought back and became a real big factor for us. Blair's a free agent, and he played big for us. And there's a few other guys that I'm missing, but Nowitzki, about one of the top greatest players in history. We got to get him back. And the one thing that I know after 6 years of being with Dirk, I don't know what's going to happen as far as how much money we can pay him, but whatever it is, it won't be enough because he has such high impact on everything that goes on with our team and everything that goes on with our organization. And so I know we'll get that done, and I know he wants to be back and everything, but I've never seen a player. This is 30 years for me in the league, and I played with Bird and I played with some great guys. There's nobody I've been around that carries a bigger load for a franchise or an organization than Dirk Nowitzki. And I mean, I can't say in words how much respect I have for him and what he stands for and everything he's done for this organization and for me, you know, in 6 years. And he's got a lot of good years left. I think that's pretty evident.
Can you take a few more?
Monte struggled today, but I wondered if you could discuss the strides that he made this year and what he did for the organization.
Yeah, and Monte made great strides, and we threw a lot at him. I mean, you know, from a standpoint of, you know, conditioning and you know, different approach defensively and a lot of things. You know, it was more than he's ever had to absorb. But he's the only guy on the team that played 82 games. He played hurt. And I would even say that he played injured in those 3 games before the All-Star break. I couldn't believe he played in those games. But him playing, you know, helped us win 2 out of those 3. And ultimately, if he hadn't played, you know, we may not have gotten over the hump to get to the playoffs. So, you know, he did a lot of things that were intangible, that were important. And, you know, at 28 years old, he's got a lot of great years left. He's really just entering his prime. And there's some things that we can do to help him get even better.
Rick, when a team gets hit, as you put it, with a tidal wave like that, is it something mental, or is it the lack of defense, or what?
Well, it was the force that they hit us with. And really, it was, you know, as much offensive force as it was defensive. But they were great on defense early too. And when we had good shots, we had trouble getting them in. And then they created great momentum going the other way, and Parker got going early. And they got too many easy ones. That was the problem. And so, you know, it was tough. I mean, we had 2 timeouts remaining in the game at halftime, which has never happened to me. You know, that's how it was. And look, at halftime, we came out, we started the small group. You know, we got up to 14 right away. You know, but they answered back. I mean, they adjusted their lineup and attacked, and they got the ball in the basket, and it was just tough. You know, so you know, we walk away from this disappointed, certainly, but not dismayed. I mean, you know, the way the guys competed was terrific.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
All right, thanks.